There we go. Sorry about that. You guys are just now able to hear me, right? Because I realized I had my mic off. So let's go ahead and I will go ahead and start answering questions. Good afternoon. I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. Roku rocked it today. It has been a beast lately. Look at this. Roku is really rocking it. I got in here for swing trade about 135 back here, end of day, and then it's just been ripping ever since, which is pretty cool. And it really had an amazing week. I mean, look at this. We're looking all the way back down at 119 area. If you were to got in on the 7th, a week ago, it's ripped $30. That's a pretty nice profit, right? So one of the questions I got is, what is a swing trade? So very simply, a swing trade is going to be a trade that you open on one day and you close any day after that. Whereas an intraday trade is going to be a trade that is done in the same day. And that's going to be really big for PDT rules, right? Can you guys see me okay? I'm not seeing it on the screen, but I can see your questions, which is what's more important. So if you guys have questions, just put them up in the chat. I should be able to see them. And so the big question was, what is a swing trade? Basically, that's when you open up today and you close anytime after today. Now, how long do you hold on to a swing trade? You want to hold on to a swing trade pretty much as long as your profit is still growing, right? You don't want to necessarily exit it too early, but if you do set up a stop and you're in profits, it's not going to be a bad thing, right? So with a swing trade, sometimes you can make really, really nice profits like this. If you've gotten in back, even if you've gotten in here, say you got in at 120, you're up $27 on your shares of Roku. You could go ahead and take profit, or you could set a stop and say, hey, I'm going to put a stop at the high of yesterday, 142, down $5 away. Many times what I do as a trading mom is I'm at my desk, and another question I got is, do I intraday trade or do I swing trade? I do a combination of both, really. But my day trades, I am pretty much done by 10:30, 11, 11:30. I am still in a partial position for Roku today, and basically I went up, hit a target, took 50% off, went up again, hit another target, took another quarter off, and now I'm in my last quarter. So I'm just letting that continue to roll. Like I said, I got in back here as well with a swing trade at the end of the day. Now, your swing trade could go for months, right? Depending on if you've gotten into the SPY back here on the 8th of October, you could still be in it. Been over a month. It depends on what your entry is, and obviously the riskiest time of getting into any trade is going to be at entry, right? Because that's going to be when that stock is going to go in the direction you're expecting it to, or it's going to go against you. So you want to be nimble and be ready to get out if it goes against you. That's probably one of the hardest things for people to learn that are brand new. So hey, Bat Scientist. Thanks, King Shavers. Let me just get the chat up here so I can see you guys. Thank you guys. You guys are so nice. So that was one of the questions that came up. So how long? Really, until your profits are going to stop you out. Like, let the stock chart tell you when to get out, as opposed to getting out too early. I know that's probably one of the hardest things for newbie beginners to break, is the thought of, hey, it's gone against me. If I buy more, then I'm going to average down. Wrong philosophy. Definitely read Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, where you can go ahead and see that it's better to add to those winners. Like I said, I got in back here, 135, and then went in again today. Look, we broke out up above. I got in at 142.65, and then it went ahead and it ripped up from there. So nice $5 profit. Can't be upset, right? But I'm still in the position. It's not done. I can still letting it go and letting the stock determine when I'm going to get out, instead of, you know, I've already taken profits on 3/4 of the position today, and it could very easily run all the way up to 200. right? We're right at that 150 test level. It could go up further. It could go up and test up to 200 later on, not necessarily today. So let's see. Another question is, how often would I swing trade in a week? So for me, that's going to be looking at, I don't want to be in too many stocks at open. So really, I have longer term holdings that I will be watching and monitoring. So I'd say I'm going to watch those, but really intense swing trading, shorter term swing trade, like 1 to a week, it's probably going to be max about 3, because I want to be able to watch the price action on those. I want to be able to watch the level 2, and I want to be able to go ahead and execute those trades well. I just realized I was talking about Roku, and you guys can't even see it, but it's right there. So I want to go ahead and be able to not overextend myself. I can set up alerts so that I know where the stock is going, but right at open, that first 15 minutes is going to be pretty crazy, and you could lock in some amazing gains, or you can see how far back it might be pulling back on you. At the same time, is it going to go ahead and take out your stop? I usually will wait to put in the stops until after those first 15 minutes, because it is so volatile as well. And then I'll check it throughout the day. Usually about every 45 minutes, I'll be checking and monitoring. I do like to look at a 45-minute chart as well. All right. King shavers, I do not trade Forex. I saw a presentation about a Forex broker back in 2016 at Timothy Sykes' Summit, and he was like, do not trade Forex. So from somebody that had been in the industry, I have never had a desire to trade Forex. I have a small crypto portfolio that's just sort of sitting there, but I'm not an active trader in it. And probably the same technical analysis, once you learn it on a chart, can apply to trading. But he said that the spreads are so big with the brokers that it's harder to make money because of the spreads for the executions. So that's why I don't do it. How would you trade with a small account? First thing I can say now that's absolutely awesome is that the fees are really not going to eat into your account. That's your commission fees for trading. There still are a handful of brokers that will charge commission fees. I think Vanguard is pretty much one of the only ones left that still charges a fee. So it's easier to trade with a smaller account, but the question is, I don't know how small of an account that person was asking about. Like, is this a $200 account? Is it a $2,000 account? Is it a $10,000 account? What is small, right? So the best thing I can say is in the beginning to paper trade and try to slowly put money aside every week into that account so that you're growing it at least to above 2,000. That way you're going to have marginability, right? Because I believe the SEC requirement is 2,000 to get the marginability on your account, which is basically credit so that you could short a stock. Otherwise, you're going to be limited to just going long unless you are trading options, in which case you could buy puts, but that's going to be similar to a cash account. So with a small account, definitely paper trade, get your strategy down, and try to get that capital up to $2,000. Once you have that capital, the best thing about paper trading is paper trade with the amount that you're going to be using, because you want to learn how to trade with what you're going to go into the real market with. And what's awesome, actually, just started on Monday, is Trade Ideas is having a test drive, and they have added paper trading to their software, which is amazing. So you can paper trade the strategies that they have going on their AI. You can paper trade anything. So you can try it out. It's $8.99, $9 for a paper trading platform. If you want to try that out, it's really cool. You can see the stocks that are ripping. You can see the stocks that are pulling back for potential long-term swing. Like you can see with Roku right here, right? So Roku went up and then it pulled back and then it ripped up again today. So no stocks, really just the low floats are the ones that go straight up and go straight down, because the supply and demand increases and decreases so quickly. Sorry, I'm just reading the questions here too. So Bat Scientist, thanks Bat Scientist. I know, maybe that's coming. We'll see. Maybe I could do my my watch list live for everybody that signs up. I could do a live version of me creating the watch list. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if I did that as a subscription service. So, what else? What brokers would you suggest for a smaller account? The trading tools that I absolutely love are with Thinkorswim. So I would highly recommend Thinkorswim. And for charting, you guys see I use TradingView for charting because it's a cloud service and I can use the same one on my desktop and have that chart transfer exactly the same to my phone. One of the headaches I have with Thinkorswim is that their charting platform on the phone is not the same as on my desktop. And like I watch the Active Trader, that's not available on the phone. That's something I wish that was on the phone. And I also use Interactive Brokers because they had the lowest fees before. So I still have my account with them. And I am also limited up in Canada as an American. In Canada, I am highly restricted as to who I can use as a broker. So I don't necessarily know all of the brokers that are out there. Like I know Sprint Trader is newer to the marketplace and they have amazing capability where you can route it directly to the ECN that you want to. So you can have direct routing right to the markets, which is really cool. And I believe that their minimum is 2,500. And Don is the president of it. It's an awesome guy too. So if you guys ever have any questions, you know, I'd be happy to help out and help you guys out in reaching him and answering those questions. You like that idea, Bat Scientist? You're already rocking it with your options. So also, I had a question is, where do I find short volume, right? Because I do talk about that in my weekend watch list. So short volume is going to be, let me go ahead and pull it up right here. So I use two. I use volumebot.com. And I'm just going to minimize myself up here so you guys can see it a little bit better. Actually, I'll move it over. How about that? And I'll make it a little smaller over here. All right, so this is volumebot.com, free website. And you can see, you can put in, so say we wanted to see Roku, right? Because I've been trading Roku, it's rocking, and I want to see what's going on with it. So this is a chart of the short volume, but I didn't answer what the short volume is. So the short volume, you have the day prior, all of your volume, right? So yesterday for November 13th, I just want to make sure you guys can see that, we had 11,700,000 shares that were traded. And the amount that was shorted yesterday was 65.71% short, right? So that means the total short volume yesterday was 7.699415. So here's how I view this, right? I'm sure people can analyze it in different ways. But the volume above 50%, so 15.71 times the total volume yesterday, gives us 1.84 million, right? It did it on the calculator, so hopefully that came out the same way. So 1.84 million, if we come to market open and less than 1.84 million has been traded and the stock has gapped up, which did happen to Roku today, then there's a good chance that there's going to be a short squeeze. Doesn't matter if this is a low float stock or a high float stock, but this is going to be a stock that has potential, that if the momentum continues and it potentially breaks out that pre-market high. So let's go back here. So we had the high from, I just want to make sure you guys can see it. We had the high from post-market that was 142.83. And then the high from pre-market here was 143.93, right? If I'll put it on the 15-minute chart, maybe even better. So actually, the pre-market high was 142.70. So once it broke that, it broke in the first 15 minutes. And I waited, and then I got in for once that break happened and the volume started coming in. It did pull back further, and then it continued on up. I also look at the volume on active trader. Where is the large volume that's being traded? And is it following the averages up? So there's a lot of different components that I'm looking at. And what's really cool is you can see it stopped right here at this line. So I will do another little video talking all about these cool lines, because you can see, look at that resistance right there at 147.50. Now, why is that important? I'll tell you guys in another video. But that's something that I learned about with Stephanie Kammerman in the Java pit, and that's part of the things that I teach in the training pit. Are all the cool tools that really help you to absolutely profit, and the tricks and techniques. So if you guys want to learn more, definitely come check us out there. And all right, yes, Bat Scientist, the computer to phone platform to TD is terrible. Maybe we should do a video and get them, get all these traders together and say, hey, will you guys come together and fix this? Can you maybe hire TradingView for your charting, at least just for the mobile platform? All right, so let me pull it back out again. And another question was, how is it day trading as a mom? Like, what do you do? How do you structure your day? And for me, this was an absolute blessing to find day trading, because I'm able to work from home. I am able to not trade if my daughters are sick. I'm able to leave my desk at about noon every day and go ahead and have my afternoon free to go and do mom duties, go to the gym, go get my nails done, whatever I need to do. It's pretty much just that morning time that I am here in front of my computer, and I have that flexibility, which is awesome. As far as day trading, I'm sitting down to my desk about 8:15 in the morning, and then I'm usually done with 10:30, 11, 11:30. I can set up stops, and I can go to the gym and have that flexibility to trade from my phone, right? I can trade with the apps. Having everything set up on TradingView allows me to know when my alerts are going off. I know where that stock price is. I've pre-planned everything. And that's something that's huge, is for newer traders, your number one risk, or your number one hurdle, is going to be mitigating risk in the beginning. For those that are looking just for profits, more than likely you will have bigger losses. I know Oliver on Twitter had sent me a message. He said, did you lose in the beginning? Yes. I started out when my first daughter was 6 months old, and I was trying to learn everything. I put a little bit of money into a $6,000 account. I took it out of my bigger account and put it into a $6,000 account. And I was trying to learn Timothy Sykes' penny stock method. And I was like, all right, awesome, honey, I'm gonna get this. This is so cool. I tried to schedule my daughter's naps around market open. And then, she woke up, she had a dirty diaper. I put in a stop, but I didn't understand stop limits completely, and I put it too tight, and then I was trading the lower float stocks, really volatile. I had to step away from my desk, and it wasn't close to my daughter's bedroom. So I burned through a $6,000 account in about 3 months. And it was because I didn't do the studying and I didn't do the paper trading. So as exciting as trading can be, the actual really best, the best traders are monotonous. They stick to the rules, they do the same thing over and over, and the profits come when you trade the right setups. I'm sure that Bat Scientists, you can agree that it's the same thing over and over. Hey, Ina. With Questrade, Questrade, I traded with them when I had my $6,000 account when I first started, and I didn't really like their platform, and I felt like all of the services were a la carte, and it was more expensive and pricier. So I like Interactive Brokers as well as Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade for trading up in Canada better than Questrade. So I would check those out, Ina. Nice to see you today. And so that if you get the patterns and the discipline down, then the profits will come. You can look at a stock and you can say, all right, this stock looks good. all right, it follows this rule, all right, this is going to be my risk, and this is where I'm going to execute it, and you're going to be able to move that. The more that you have that strategy that works for you, and you rinse and repeat, your confidence grows, the more you can start putting into the trades, and the more confident that you'll be at keeping a tight risk and getting in a better entry at the same time. And I was thinking about something, it just slipped my mind. You know, everybody is completely different, right? So Timothy Sykes' strategy can work for a great population, you know, but that's not necessarily going to work for everybody else. And I know somebody else had put on my video last week saying that everybody hates on everybody else because they have the winning strategy. Well, that's the winning strategy for them. Every person is different, and you need to figure out who you mesh with, who has that same sort of risk tolerance that you have, who has the capital that you might be thinking about trading with, as far as looking at to start out. You know, what is the style that's going to fit for you? The person that emailed me is saying, hey, I've got a full-time job, I've got a small account, how do I do this? Number one, when you're doing a swing trade, you want to look at the most data you have from the day. So you want to look at it at maybe 3 o'clock, 3:30. If you have that 30-minute time frame from 3:30 to 4 that you can say to your manager or your boss, or if you're self-employed and you want to get into it, you know, set aside that 30-minute time frame. Do studying in the off hours. TradingView is really cool as well because you can go through this feature where you can, let me make it a larger screen, you can do a replay feature on TradingView. And let me get rid of all the lines. It might be a little confusing for you guys. All right, so you can do a replay feature. So if it's after hours and you're learning at night, it's okay. You can go ahead, we'll do one update every 2 seconds. So you want to see what happened yesterday since yesterday open, we'll say. So you go right here and it brings you back to yesterday open. And then you just hit play, and then you can practice paper trading off of that as well. You can say, all right, so it went down, it went up 15 minutes. All right, where would you enter, right? And you can practice with the software. That ability is also on Thinkorswim, where you can replay what has happened throughout the trading day. So that's another reason why I like Thinkorswim and TradingView, because you have the ability to use it as a learning tool as well. TradingView also has free paper trading, so you can use it, but it's just for stocks, and it doesn't have like stop limit orders, it just has stop orders. And so the more that you practice, the better you're going to be, because the market really doesn't care if you have any experience whatsoever. It will take your money, right? And the computers are written to actually mess with people's psychology. And of course, look, you can see it goes up and then it pulls back, right? It's going to have that stair-stepper action. So you can watch it. How far is it going to pull back before you're going to hit your stop, right? And then it's going to go up and you can see, oh, okay, it pulled back again, pre-market. And you want to know what is going on. And the more that you practice seeing charts, you practice your strategy, the more likely you will have success, rather than just jumping in with a small account because somebody else did it. You know, everybody's different. Everybody has a different learning curve, and everybody has a different time frame at which they learn. And if you know that you're, say, an auditory learner, or you need to have someone explain it to you in video, or you need one-on-one, then go and find what you need to learn it so that you're going to be successful, because the stock market has enough money for everybody to profit. You can profit on the long side, you can profit on the downside. It's a matter of finding the strategy that works for you. Like Bat Scientist, who's here today, he's a scientist, yet he still trades options, and many times will swing trade them based on the criteria that works for him. Now, is that going to work for everybody? Not always. All right, let's see. Everyone, thank you, Bat Scientist. You're so kind. I hope you're going to come in Philly in July. Are you going to come out to Philly in July for the Modern Trader Summit? And that's a part of everything I do, is to try to help you guys. I slowly started sharing with Twitter, then my blog, then YouTube channel, and now I'm realizing, I can actually help more people in doing this stuff live, answer your questions, and we can go over trades, go over the market, see what's going on. So do you guys have any questions in particular that you would, or any stocks that you want to look at? I keep looking up because that's where my screen is for the questions. Awesome. It's going to be July 12th. All right. So I'll let you know when the seats go on pre-sale, early bird special. Sounds like Florida, right? But like right now, looking at some of the stocks that I'm looking at, that we also have looked at in something else that's really cool that I didn't know about when I first learned trading is the dark pool. And the dark pool, let me go back up here. So the dark pool is 100% trading with an edge because you have the ability to see these block prints where the big hedge funds, the major traders are putting in their trades, and you can say, all right, so potentially, there wasn't one today, but potentially you could say, okay, 141.62, we had a 500,000 share print that went off right at open. Well, then you know what? You track to see what the price action is doing from that point. Then you know, okay, 500,000 shares right here. That's pretty good support, right? If it's going up from there, you can trade it to the long side. If it goes below there, you trade below it, right? Because you want to keep the big guys behind you so that that's support for going long or resistance if you're going short, so that you know that you've got these big guys that do manipulate the market on the right side of you, and you're really able to profit off of these big moves. And I first met Stephanie when I wrote my book, and then I had her speak at my first summit, and now I'm working with her as a teacher, and it's so cool because the ability to trade around the dark pool gives you such an edge because you can see what these big guys are doing. You can know that the massive move that was coming, we saw that in the prints with 100 million shares of prints that they built up over 4 months. We start seeing prints coming in on the SPY. We start seeing prints on Roku. We see them on Apple. We see them on Bank of America. We see them on Facebook. We see them on Tesla. We see them on FXI, the Chinese ETF. So if you guys want to learn more about it, come and check out the training pits, because we will definitely teach you all about it and how to profit around the dark pool. Everybody that's come over is like, oh my gosh, this is like the holy grail, because you have the ability to see what these really big players that manipulate the market are doing. And you're able to say, all right, these guys are not looking necessarily for pennies on their move. They're looking for a couple dollars, if not more, or to change the trend overall, right? They might know that Roku is going to be announcing that they had this major sale going on for their new stock coming out, or new streaming stick that's going to be promoted at Walmart on Black Friday, or Clovis we saw prints on. Like, we see these prints happen all the time on oil before the drone strikes. We don't always know which way it's going to go, but we know that once that move happens, it's going to be a massive, massive move. Sorry. How would I, you know what, Bat Scientist? I might ask you just to change one word when you're talking. Instead of playing, you're trading. Playing makes it sound like it's a game and it's not serious. And I did psychological stuff with a friend of mine, and she was like, yeah, when you say play, that means you're not really serious about it. But trading is serious. It's about your money, your risk, everything like that. So let's go and look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, I do not trade going over earnings. But earnings just happened, right? So for the earnings day, it's actually better. Leading up to it, you could potentially trade options because the IV is going to increase over the time frame of the earnings, right? Going into earnings. So they're going to manipulate the stock. They're going to take it where they want to. if you look at it right here too, this one, draw right here, this is what I see right off the bat. And I like to use gray candlesticks now instead of red and green, but you can see that box of consolidation, right? So right now it looks like they are going ahead and creating a position to me. They haven't taken it up. Every time they take it up above this area, they sell it down. Every time they take it down below here, they buy it back up, right? Because those wicks at the bottom are going to be buyers taking control of the price action. Oh, hold on. So right here, right? I drew this box. So this is the past since the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trading days. So right now, it looks to me like they are building a consolidation of whatever position. You know, the stocks will have that sort of pause, and then they're going to pick a direction. So this has the potential to rip higher, or it has the potential to drop lower, right? We don't have a major move as of yet, but it looks to me like if it were to go below 20, let's go in even more, 206.42 or above 211, that would likely be the move. Actually, might even move it up here to 212 if it were to break out above 212. But every time that it goes above here, there's selling action, and every time it goes below, there's buying action. So there's just a consolidation period right now to me. You can see another one. Let me do this. You can see another one where that happened. No, I don't want text. I want the box. Right here. Right? And it really consolidated right here. If I pull it over here, actually. So it consolidated in this period, right? And then once it broke out, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days again. So it's similar. So I don't know if we had dark pool prints back here, but it wouldn't surprise me if we did. And then all of a sudden, boom, they rip it up, right? I don't know if recently, I haven't been tracking NVIDIA's prints, but we could be having dark pool prints as well, where they're putting on, you know, 2 million shares. And then whatever direction it takes, you follow it. So does that make sense to you on NVIDIA, or were you looking more at the actual how to trade it throughout the day, Bat Scientist? Like on the daily chart, it's pretty whippy, right? But every time that it's come back down here to 207, it looks like it's found a bit of support. But it's on the negative for the day, it's downward trending. But at 207 is support. So potentially, in my opinion, if you were to go long, you know, a 207 would be support right there. It did come down and test it. And something I don't like to put on a trade in the middle of the day because the volume is usually really low, right? If you look at it right here, you have massive volume right at open, and then it's pretty low and it's descending until about lunchtime. And then it looks like maybe the algorithms took it down to fake out the longs or to take out those long stops because now a lot of the market flow is being sold. So they could have said, hey, you know, people put their stops just below this, right? And so maybe we're going to go ahead and we're going to take out those stops. Look, a new low was set. Now, does that mean that they're going to rip it higher? Yeah, they really could. They could just go down here, take it down, and then rip it up even higher. So it's in that box consolidation, like I said. And look, if you look at that, the low of that box that I had there, that's pretty cool, right? It's the same as the low of the day. So once it breaks this area right here, there's a potential trade. Right now, it's a no trade and watch to me. You're welcome, Bat Scientist. Anyone else have a stock they want to look at? I'll look at the SPY because I know you're always curious about the SPY. Put put it back to my list. So this is my list for the day, guys, if you want to see the longs and then the shorts as well. So, or potential longs and potential shorts. So with the SPY, right, if you look at it, if you always scroll out to look on a bigger time frame, you can start to see patterns, right? So this 309.42, how many times did it test there? And it sold off. Let me draw a line there, right? So you've got this area right here. How many times? Once it pulled back, twice it pulled back, 3, 4 pulled back, 5, 6, and now it pulled back down to a low that looks like it was pretty much, it was resistance before, right over here, and now it flipped to be support. So where are we going to go with this? Let's look at the daily chart and see. All right. So we are right in the middle of the upward trend line up here and coming back down over here. And we're at the top. We're riding along the 4s right there. Do you guys see this too? We've got that box again, right? Or even down to here. I would even go all the way down here, down to that green line, the 307.37 area. So right now it looks like it could go long if we break that 309.42 potentially, or if we go short potentially if we go below that 307.37. Right? Let's go to auto here. So you can see every time that we're hitting along here, it's got selling price action. But when we actually hit this average right here, look at that, a wick and then it bounced up, buying action. It's pretty cool. If you guys want to learn, look at how it hits this and it rips right up. Hit this one and bounced up. That's part of the averages that we use. It's really cool in the training pit. So do you guys have any other questions? You know, with the dark pool, we don't trade the news because the dark pool always comes first. Those prints are going to come first. The news is late. It justifies the action, right? Except for when we have the FOMC meetings that they might announce something, but those dark pool prints have already happened beforehand and they are manipulating it to take the market where they want to go. So if you guys want to learn more about the dark pools, come on over to the training pit and I will be happy to help you guys learn all about the dark pools. It's really awesome and a very cool tool to have at your fingertips to help you profit. Have a great day, guys, and as always, carpe profit. If you like my content, please like and subscribe, and if you have anything you want me to cover in a video, just shoot me an email at jane@cjanetrade.com or just put it in the comments below. Have a great week. Carpe profit. Seize those profits one trade at a time.